Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of my Dungeon Boss Tower series. Today we're going to have something a little bit more special in store here. We are level 40, which is basically a transition into the latter half of the game. So we have a series of things that are going to happen at level 40 here, but first we're going to go and we're going to do our first serious tower push. Now what I mean by that is by the time we get to this point here, I'm very close to another 2700 for a times 10 summon, which basically means by the time you hit level 40, you should have somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 30 to 35 heroes. Once you get a roster size that big, the tower is going to be much more obtainable, and it should be a decent source of daily gems for you. Now, I'm not going to be able to guarantee that you can beat the tower every single day. Obviously, it's going to depend quite a bit on how well your heroes are started up, what sort of runes they have, and just the overall strategy that you use for the tower. And sometimes you're going to get poor RNG, and the tower is just going to be really difficult. One of the most difficult things that I find about the tower is, unlike PvP, you can't see if whatever tower defense that's based off of has a bunch of extra runes on there, so you don't really know what you're up against. So you do have to use more of a tactical approach at this level here. So we're going to start with that. Then we actually have more PvP coming your way, and then actually because we're level 40, we're going to be starting our challenge mode, so that's going to be a big thing as well. So before I do that, I've been hoarding my resources for a very long time, and I've done this for a specific reason because with my knowledge of the game, I know not to pour too much into heroes too early. So I wanted to see where this actually took me. Now obviously I would have made it a lot further as far as resources go, and I wouldn't have been such a high level, but with recent changes to the quest loadout and how quickly you level, it was different than the first time I played through. So if I was playing just normally, I would expect to be only about half of this level at this point, but then with the quest changes, there's just experience after experience after experience, and before I knew it I was level 40 and probably leveled too quickly. So where I'm at right now, I've been very, very, very stingent on summoning heroes. A lot of these I had been waiting to do just to see if I would get them in the Great Summon and get a few extra tokens, for example. Like Zerk, for example. I've been running dungeons with him. He's probably got about maybe 30 tokens on him, so he's definitely more than 1 star. But what I was looking for is ultimately in the Great Summon is to see if I got any actual summons here. And occasionally you get this if you take a look at the hero drops. You can see that at least there used to be full unlocks, and that might have gone away since the last time I looked at it, which has been a very long time. So essentially there's no reason not to summon the guys that I have, so I'm actually going to be doing that. I'm definitely not going to bore you with all the details here, but I'm going to cover basically where I'm at in terms of my resources and why I've been hoarding this. At level 40, in order to bring these guys up to speed here, if you look at each person, there's going to be 2 skills, the main attack and their primary skill that they get. So at level 1, it's 500 a piece, and then level 2, it's 1,000, and level 3, it's 1,500. So if you multiply those by 2, essentially it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and so on and so forth, all the way up to level 40. Now what that means for me is to do 2 skills per person. That is 820,000 gold. That's for one of them. So 820,000 gold, my 14 million, that money is going by very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to speed up the video when I do this, but I wanted to give you some insight in terms of what I'm going to be doing with this. First off, I am going to summon everybody because I do need tower fodder. That's the only way I'm going to be able to get through the tower at this level. If you look at my account, I only have less than 30 heroes actually. Take a quick look here. I have 19 of them that are unlocked, and then I have another, let's see, 21, 23, 25, 27 total heroes. Now that's a pretty weak roster for doing tower at level 40, but that's also because I haven't been doing summons either. Within a week's time, I'm going to have 2,700, and I'll do another round of heroic summons. And that'll get me maybe 1 or 2 more heroes, and that'll be right around that 30 range. If you had been doing individual 300 summons, in the heroic summon and you've gotten more heroes, more power to you. It's just not the approach that I would take. So, in addition to summoning all these guys, which I'm definitely going to do, I'm not going to fully level every single one of them because I don't know how far this experience is going to take me. I've been doing my best to make sure this does not go up to 999, so I'm not wasting experience, but I also don't know if this is going to be enough to fully level my roster, which I highly doubt it actually is. And the reason I say that is when I play through on my main account, I know for a fact that by the time I got to around level 45, I was severely deficient as far as experience and being able to level my heroes up. So I was basically popping a couple of 400 XP potions on a couple guys every day from the shop just to try and level them up a little bit more. So when I go through and do the heroes, I know which heroes are good, which ones are bad. So I'm going to focus more on making sure all of my main heroes have all of their experience first, and then I will go with all the secondary ones that I want to use. For example, Torchy, Zerk, those are going to be important ones because they're main players. Sume, probably not going to use him much. Selwyn, probably not going to use him much. I'll try and level them up as best as possible. But I also have guys that need to have experience here as well. So for example, Shadowblade and Willow are both pretty decent. Augustus, these are people that I already have that I also need to pour experience into. On top of that, I also have to consider that some of these guys can be ascended. So that's another 410,000 gold per person. So I can't be wasting all of my gold on certain heroes. So I'm definitely going to take stock of this here, and then we'll see where our hero roster looks like when we get finished with all that. But by the time we're done here, I don't expect to have much gold left. The little bit of gold I do have left, I'm actually going to pour into the last few runes that I have. So any runes that are decent and I can put runes on my heroes for the tower, that's ultimately going to help, because now that we have runes out, we didn't have runes when I went through the tower the first time when I was level 40. So it was just a matter of the bigger roster you have, the better chance you have of advancing. So if I can get some runes on the guys that I know I'm going to be using, that will help as well. But we all know runes are super expensive to level up as well. So when we're done, we probably won't have any gold left. I don't really expect to have any experience left either. And then that's going to basically set the stage for the next 20 levels of our transition here. So going from 40 to 50 is going to be pretty tough. We're going to be working on challenge mode. Once we get to that mindset, we're going to be focusing probably more so on just a few specific heroes. We're not going to do too much token farming. We're going to focus on the ones that actually matter and make sure those guys are constantly leveled up. So with that said, I am going to fast forward the video at this point here. You can watch me go through this, but I would recommend that you just fast forward it as well. In fact, I may just edit out most of it, because even in fast speed, this is probably going to take me a good 45 minutes to an hour to do. So with that said, take a load off, and then we'll reconvene once I have my roster built up. Okay, so I finished my primary upgrades as far as my heroes go. You can see I spent pretty much all of my gold. I have almost nothing left. As far as experience goes, I can upgrade a few more guys to higher levels. Most of my experience is gone, but I do have a few left over. I'm actually not going to waste these here. I'm going to keep these as kind of a buffer so that when I do my next times 10 summon, I have experience potions to level guys up. If I were to spend this all now, I run the risk of not being able to use possibly a powerful hero that comes out. So I wasn't able to get through everybody. That I didn't run out of experience like I thought, but I did run out of gold. Part of that is because I did a lot of ascending on some of my core heroes. That added another 400,000 per hero, so it was not very convenient there. But basically, where I'm at, I have a lot of guys that have gotten leveled up. So most of my guys are at level 40. As far as the tower goes, I did take a pretty intelligent approach, in my opinion. Guys like Phenol, William, Bulbous, Rogar, Femus, and Stonefist, for example. Anybody that is either a tank or armored, it's always nice to have them max level as far as using your experience. They don't have to have their skills leveled out, but maxing them up is always important, because if you use those as a fodder hero, the stronger they are. Anybody that's armored can take a lot of damage, so using those heroes as fodder can help you get through and clear out a couple of those guys' abilities. So in doing that, I did also get a bunch of rewards here for campaign rewards. Most of it's probably just going to be gems and gold. What I'm going to do with the gold is I'm actually going to level out Sume quick, but I'll keep the gold and experience and gems on hand, but I'll probably have enough to do a 2,700 times 10, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to claim all this stuff here. Wouldn't surprise me if I actually level up. I don't think there's any experience on these things. But I spent a lot of gold and a lot of experience, so I expected to get a whole bunch of stuff there. Got me back up to over 1,000,000 gold, and I did have enough gems for 2,700. So when the next really great feature comes out, then we'll use that there. So what I'm going to do, the last person that I was working on was actually Sume. I'm just going to get him his double chop. I don't know that he'll ever get to it in the tower, but I am going to upgrade that one. Then I'll keep the last little bit of gold on hand, and then we'll slowly work that back up. I will need another couple million for when I do that times 10 summon. So some of the people that I had been using, Rocky and Darius, for example, didn't get any extra love there. I did upgrade Shadow Blade and Willow, so a lot of my main core heroes are at level 40 now, which is good. I ascended a couple guys too, so as far as working our way into challenge mode, we should be a lot better as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and try and beat this tower for the first time. So looking at the tower to start with, never a bad idea to scout out ahead to see what sort of stuff you're dealing with here. So we're level 40, so 33, 35, 34, these should all be good. We're looking for ones that have a ton of legendaries. This is a beast team, may not be very powerful, but they might have a lot of synergies. Looks like floor 6 is the first one that we actually run into a problem. So basically at this point, I want to make sure that Masuda Kira is still alive. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious about using him too haphazardly early on. I'm going to try and keep him safe so that I have my AoE for this team. This team here could be pretty tough as well. It's going to require a little bit of planning. I'm not sure what I'm going to have left at this point. I don't know how tough that Kira is, but this is a pretty intimidating team. So in here, I think I can beat with enough planning. This would be a difficult team as well, because the poison is it's a beast. And then 40, and then ends with a 38. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. So in terms of dealing with this tower now, so how do we want to actually go about doing this? There's a ton of different ideas for how you want to do the tower. If you put a bunch of runes on your guys, you might be able to just walk through it. That's how I do it on my main account. I just walk through, and just when guys die, they die. It doesn't really bother me. I just replace them with someone else. Something like this, I'm looking to see, is there anything that's AoE, for example, that's going to be problematic? So this Jabberjaw is going to attack first, and then this is the killer because he'll slow me down. So the real question is, could I kill Bolvis before he slows the team? And then with Ella, she's going to do a charm. So can I kill her before she kills the team? Because she doesn't have to be powerful. If she gets her charm off, it's the power of my guys. So it's a matter of what do I think is going to happen with Jabberjaw. Would he kill one of my guys? He's a 1-star and 7 levels lower. He shouldn't be able to kill me. I should be able to pretty much do anything that I want. So what I will do to start with is we're going to work out a way to kill those guys in order without burning through our actual skills. And so what we want to do is something like this. So this is going to kill Jabberjaw. This is hopefully going to kill Bolvis. This is going to kill Ella. And then as a buffer, I'm going to throw Kira in there as well, because I want to have an extra attack just in case one of them's not going to be able to kill somebody. So I'm not going to use special moves except for with Torchy. Torchy has really great energy consumption, so I'm not afraid of using one of his abilities. Plus I ascended him, so I definitely have 2 abilities. But I know that Jabberjaw is going to be weak. He can only attack one of these guys, and there's no way he's going to kill it. So my priority is going to be Bolvis, and it's going to be Ella, because Bolvis will basically make everybody else better on his team. Ella, if she hits Koros, that could be pretty bad news for me. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to lockjaw Bolvis. I'm hoping it just outright kills him, which it didn't, but that's okay. That gives me time to work on Ella. And then here comes Jabber, which I expected to take, which it went very well. And now Koros kills him. Augustus kills her. And now I'm pretty much in the driver's seat here. Unless I get really poorly ganked here, I don't see that as being a problem. So we'll try and kill Jabber, which tougher than I give him credit for, but Stonefist is going to taunt, so I got to kill Jabber before that happens. And now it doesn't really matter. So the nice thing about this now is I should be gaining ability points for my main guys. Kira's second skill, and then these other guys as well. So really, I'm trying to get out of here without anybody taking serious damage. Torchy is already getting hit quite a bit. I won't be able to heal him this round, but I'll be able to heal him in another dungeon. So depending on where things go. So this was overall pretty well. I got through the entire thing without using any abilities. The more you can do that in the tower, obviously, the better. So what some people suggest is to take one powerful team, like one of my main teams, Grognog, Koros, and then like Yasmin and Nub Nub together. That team itself could probably waltz through a lot of these lower level ones, but something like this, it's going to remove my buffs. The taunt is going to be a nuisance here. This charm is going to be a nuisance again. There's just a bunch of things that you can't account for. So I don't like Astrid's first ability because it'll knock people off balance. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to let's see what we can do. I don't have my lockjaw up on Torchy. I don't know if I want to send somebody to their death just yet. So I kind of feel like I have to, actually. Because ultimately what I want to do is I want to use Grognog to slow everybody else down. But it's a matter of who I'm going to pair Grognog with to deal with this first attack here. Because that's really what's going to probably... If I miss anybody, that's going to be... Even with the level difference, it's going to be a nuisance. So what I'm ultimately going to do is I'm going to send one of my weaker ones. So even if she kills, don't care. I'll send Lupina. Maybe she dodges, maybe she doesn't. Probably won't. But I'm not going to send anybody worthwhile here. Now, obviously, Lupina would be great if I'd used her for her Chaos Howl. And actually, you know what? I'm going to save that. I didn't even think about that. I'm not going to waste Lupina because that's going to be an excellent skill to have here. So I'll actually keep her and send Nitpick instead. I don't use Lupina a lot these days, so I forgot that she was a fear causer. So that's actually going to be nice. So Astrid, she looks like she's just normal. She might have one ascension. She does have little things on her shield, and that's half metal, half wooden shield. So she's going to do a provoking attack next. So now I'm going to try and brute force this one with Grognog, and then we will send in Torchy. Basically, here's the plan for this. I'm going to try and get some heals off on these two guys and bring them back up to full health. So with Grognog, I should be pretty well set. So what I'm going to do, I don't think it will kill her, but I think I'm going to try and kill Astrid with Torchy's pillar. And it didn't kill her, which I kind of didn't expect. So as long as she doesn't attack Torchy, I think everybody else would survive. Alright, so now this hopefully does. I have runes on Grognog, so he should be pretty tough. And now we're going to heal. The only thing that's going to be kind of sucky about this one is Beast Hunter on William. But he should be weak enough where it doesn't really hurt me that much. I'm not going to waste my Purge just to use on him because of elemental disadvantage. So I'm just going to hope for the best here. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks bad. So that's what I was saying before about not losing anybody. He's a lot. That Beast Hunter is no joke. I have to do this because otherwise Torchy's going to get killed. I can't have Torchy getting killed. Alright, well, he got killed anyways, so that was kind of a slap in the face because now I wasted my skill on Koros. So occasionally you get the RNG monster, which I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it did. So, and the sad thing is I still had another skill up with Torchy as well, so that kind of sucks. Alright, so Yasmin's not going to attack, but she will heal if I damage one of them. So if I use Kira, for example, and don't kill Ella, then it's not going to help anybody. So what I will do here, Nimriel's going to be the big one because she's 4 stars and she's going to daze. So I want to make sure I kill her. I found a good defense against Nimriel is also Nimriel. So we'll go like that. And then what we're going to do, we'll do Koros. And we'll go Yasmin. A lot of times I like to run dual tanks. Or not dual tanks, dual healers. If I put in my 2 toughest guys, Grognog and Koros, and then Yasmin and Nub-Nub, a lot of times that can make things go quite a ways. It's just not so much so to start with. Alright, wanted to kill her. That did not work though. That's okay. Alright, so another raw deal. So I don't know if I like where this is going. I think I'm just going to accept the fact that Nimriel died and back off. I feel like the dungeon's going to go even worse if I don't do that. So we're not going to risk losing Koros as well. He's already lower health now, so we're going to try something else. We're going to use Kira. Yasmin is first. We'll use Cobalt. And then we actually, no, let's use him, and him. We should be able to clear this one now. So never think twice about retreating. Sometimes you just have to retreat. There's no shame in doing so. So keep that in mind. This has a 5-turn cooldown. I'm going to save that because I want it for that undead one. I'm going to try and poach her in one hit, which we did. And then we're going to do double duty here. I don't anticipate needing Bulbous again. He's not a high priority for me. He's going to be more of a tank type to soak damage in the future rooms. So I will throw a taunt with William. It'll help damage these guys a little bit more. Nimriel's disease, so I'm actually pretty good about that. Even if she hits, don't really care. Stonefist is going to do Fist of Justice. So I have another turn to kill Nimriel, and then he's left by himself. So overall damage-wise, I should be okay. So we will do, who's my highest hitter? We'll do Kira here. And then these guys can both pound away on Stonefist. I got lucky there. Maybe it'll kill him. Nope. Dodged. Alright. So, I spent skills on both Bulbous and Cobalt, but Cobalt's usually pretty good about his energy, plus I have him ascended. So I'm okay with that. Now, because Bulbous has a 7-turn cooldown, I'm not going to be able to use that Stampede again. So he's a good one to use in an instance where we want to use a sacrificial lamb. In this case here, I don't really know what their situation is with Furnace, so I have to send somebody in to break up that taunt. And then the rest of it is just kind of there. So Nimriel's going to get her turn in. Shadowblade's going to get his turn in. So as far as sending somebody to go after that, I think William's going to be a good one to do, because even though he's a tank, he's got element over Nimriel. And honestly, all he has to do is survive Shadowblade's attack, and I'm fine with that. Because ultimately what I want to do is I want to get this through to Nimriel's attack. And so she's going to kill him, but that's okay, because I got Shadowblade out of the way, and we got Nimriel's out of the way. That'll let us bring in a little bit stronger team, and now the taunt is down too. So this I felt was a pretty good use here. So we want to bring somebody that's going to be able to do some killing. So we're going to bring Koros again, and Grognog, and then we're going to bring in, nope, we're going to do Ella first. We're going to not try to brute force it just yet. We're going to do Ella. Who are we up against? We're going to use Ella on Nimriel. Damage reflection, I don't really care about that. It's really just a matter of staying alive. Shadowblade's the priority, because these two are the damage dealers. The rest of these guys are just kind of there. So we're going to use Ella. We're going to use Augustus. We're going to use Cobalt. And we're going to try and bring Yasmin along. Actually, we're going to dual heal it. We're going to bring Yasmin along. Hopefully she doesn't die. Nub will heal the group. Yasmin will get some energy back, and then hopefully these guys will both be in a good spot. I want to get Nub out there so he's getting his stout defense up. That can come in handy, provided I can get through some of the actual normal speed rounds to get to him. So really what I was looking for to see is if he did any type of combustion. That's going to be the big one. So this is hopefully going to be my money maker by her not being able to attack, basically. She did well on both of those guys and on Shadow Blades. I like that. I didn't plan on using my Smite, but I think I pretty much should, because I don't have many damage dealers here, and I want to make sure that I actually get through this. If I lose somebody in here, then it's kind of a poor deal here. So we want to make sure that we get through this. We want to work on Nimriel next. These two guys here, they just don't do a lot of damage. I need to kill Nimriel before Furnace taunts again. That's incredibly important. So I can heal with Augustus. I'm not in a hurry to do that. Main priority is taking out Nimriel. And even Nub was able to do it, even though she was elemental advantage. So at this point, taking out Furnace is probably the priority, because he's going to taunt anyways if I try to take out Alex. And then Furnace taunts off, it just delays this even further. So I'm saving the heal on Augustus because it cleanses too. I don't want to just spend that and then not have it. If I'm gaining a little bit of health back every turn anyways, I'm okay with having a little bit less health. I want to have the skills rather than the health. So that's the more important thing at this point. And if I can take them down, Nimriel would have been great to have at this point because of her tank hunter, but she met an unfortunate end, which is a bummer, because she's, as far as star goes, my strongest hero. So now he's a little bit lower. I'm going to want to heal a little bit here. Not going to use his own heal, though. I'll use Yasmin. She's not going to do damage really anyways, so I'll heal the whole group. And then also with Ella sticking around longer and longer and longer, Ella's actually going to have her blood ritual attack to her thing here. So I'll be able to use her in another dungeon and basically max heal somebody and give them some crits. So this is going to work out pretty well. Furnace is dead. I think the rest of this can be auto-attacked. I think Alex is weak enough where he won't be able to do anything. And now we have all three of my healers with basically all of their skills up, which is pretty good. And Yasmin should be healing the group as well. There we go. So that worked out about as well as we can. So never underestimate the power of having healers in your group. I had technically 3 healers, and if you want to consider Ella's second skill, technically 4 healers. Now this is the one that was bothering me the most because of beast synergies. Now at 1 and 2 star and possibly not ascended, I don't really remember what the synergies are, but I know this is not something to be trifled with. So we got fast, and then Bolvis, he's going to do some damage there. So the best possible option for this one, in my opinion, is send my toughest dude, Stonefist. And honestly, just sending him by himself should be fine. Let him get through as much as he possibly can, and then if we get through a second turn and Torchy uses his next skill, even better. But he should be able to be pretty tough. My main concern is, what does Bolvis do to him after this? This is what was going to frighten me. Survived. He's going to get killed by Jabberjaw, but all 4 of them use their main skills. I can't see the Ascension on Torchy. So now we're gonna try and do some damage here. So we like red against green and red against red as well. So we can't use Kira because we need him for stage 6. We have 2 fast heroes. Here we go. We're gonna try and sneak Lupina in there. I'm not confident that she's gonna get an attack off, but if she does, that will help us. So I'm gonna send in a pseudo fodder team, if you will. A team that I think can actually do well if they get lucky. but not going to be too detrimental if they all die. So let's see. Let's try this here. Darius is in there just as a distraction. Anybody that hits her, I'm fine with that, because she's not strong enough to kill anybody really, but she is strong enough to take away an attack from Lupina, so that Lupina can do her fear. But Torchy did that, so you had to expect that that was going to happen. So we're going to think, honestly, Bulbous is the strongest. Might be able to kill him. See how this goes. I would have loved to have Lupina do her fear, but this hero worked fine as well. I mean, it will them down a little bit, and they shouldn't have any skills left. I can send in a cleanup team to take care of things, and even took out Bulbous. So I'm happy with that. And I might even get to kill Torchy as well. Yeah, let's see how good Shadowblade does with his dodge. This actually is going to be a great situation now. Shoot, I was hoping that I could get one more attack in there. Okay, so now, with a dead room like this here, this gives us our best chance to top some guys off. So, heal-wise, I don't know what we got from Yasmin. I don't think her skill is up just yet. So I'm going to bring her in there. I'm also going to put Augustus in there because he's a healer. And then Koros and Grognog. I want to get these guys back up, plus I'll get an energy turn out of them as well. They shouldn't get killed by anybody, but stranger things have happened. Alright, so first up, Koros is going to get a big heal. That's what I like to see. I didn't expect that skill to be up so soon. Thank God he attacked Koros and not anybody else, but man, that feels like such a waste. Alright, so I wanted to heal Grognog too, so I'm going to throw it on Koros. Grognog is tougher. And if Grognog's going to kill her, so I was hoping maybe I got another turn and get a little bit of a passive heal, but Grognog's usually tougher, so Koros got the life back that felt wasted, though. I wasn't expecting Beast Mode to be up, and that kind of screwed me over. Okay, so dealing with Shadowblade. I can't risk Shadowblade doing something awful to Kira. I don't think he would kill Kira, but I also don't know that he wouldn't. So the real threat here is Braum. Kira should do good damage against him. Yorick is going to do Mark for Death. Hansuke is going to do Vigilance. So we need an AoE to be able to kill Braum. But we're really worried about this 4-star Shadowblade. My guess is if somebody's been pouring resources into Shadowblade, he's probably pretty tough. So what I'm thinking is twofold here. We're going to send 2 goats in. The reason being, Shadowblade kills one, Yorick marks the other, Hansuke does his thing, Braum wastes his attack, and then we're sitting pretty. So this is actually a great dungeon to force them to waste their skills. The only downside to that is when I use my next team, Yorick is going to attack, Hansuke is going to attack as well. And I can't tell from that Shadowblade if he has his vampiric shurikens. He very well may. Well, how about this here? We'll throw a attack on there just to humor him, but it's going to be like 3 damage. Or 0 damage. Looked like 0. So everything went as planned. Maybe he'll even dodge here. Wouldn't that be awesome? 189% marking. Their Braum is 1 ascended, so he's got Team Leech as well. So he needs to die ASAP. So we're going to go Kira, and then we want to make sure that we got some killers in there, people that can actually use skills. Here we go. That's going to be amazing. This will be excellent. And then we're going to, this might actually wipe the team. So we will bring in Yasmin and Grognog. So the intent here is possibly a passive heal. I'm hoping that Kira does most of the damage. Kira plus Braum waxing the team is going to be pretty impressive. So I'm pretty much letting it all ride on that. I'm hoping that Kira kills everything. And it'd actually be better if Kira doesn't kill Braum, but I think he might, because using the charm on Braum would be better, but I can't really risk it, so I'm going to just go ahead and do this. That's, yep, I pretty much assumed that. He did, yeah, that sucks. Oh, shit. Shit. It's that stupid vampiric shurikens. And now Hansuke's saving from death blows. That's crock of shit. Shoot. I'm gonna get out of this one, but it's not gonna be good. I lost 2 critical players here. Ella is not, she's not a great hero, but that charm is a complete disruptor, and I lost a healer. There's nothing I can do about that now. I mean, I kept these guys. Stupid vampiric shurikens, though. Alright, so now, that would have been a nice one to have for here. I have to send somebody to soak Kira, and also I need to see what his ascension is, too, so somebody's just dead. I don't know who I want to send. Igorok's going to kill anybody that comes up next, so I wanted to send maybe Rogar, because Rogar could soak that first hit. I'm going to send Phenol. Phenol might be able to soak both Kira and Igorok. And honestly, because he's slow, it's unlikely that I'm ever going to get a chance to use his first skill anyways and poison the team. So unless he does dodge, that's about all I could ask for there. This should be a nice soak here. If he doesn't freeze, that would be nice, but it really doesn't matter because he's going to get killed by these 2 guys. That's good. How about that? Let's poison these guys. As long as Kozar doesn't kill him, they're going to take some poison damage. But I feel like this is a death blow here. Nope, it's not. Poison does a reasonable amount. I like that. Maybe revenge? Nope, he's dead. But he did a pretty good dent, and it looks like their Kira might be max ascended. Might be. I'm going to send my Kira. I'm going to send Willow. And then we're going to dual heal it. That's the plan here. We're running out of heroes. You can see I don't think we're going to be able to beat this tower. Despite my best efforts, it seems like our roster is just a tad too small at this point. We don't have the gusto to do it. There's the dim mock. Shoot, now I can't heal either. We'll kill Braum. Better than nothing. And then we should be able to kill Igorok as well. Oh, rip-off city. Absolute rip-off. I don't think I can stress that enough. Alright. I don't know that I can kill Kozar. I really don't think I can. He's got a high health pool. Basically just laugh that off. Well, I can't heal Kira, but I can certainly defend. Stupid dim mock. Shoot. That's really unfortunate. Again, I'll probably get out of this one, but lost another major player. And honestly, even if he would have been almost dead, having him for a sacrificial hero would have been helpful. It's amazing that these other guys just take that damage then. It's not really anything. At least Willow's next skill is up, so that'll help us a little bit as well. Alright, we're back with Torchy again. Torchy and Julius, that's a pretty rough combo to start with. I don't know what I have left that I can send in there. Torchy's going to kill somebody. So, Torchy, Julius, we're going to go with Rogar alone. He'll be able to do his attack because he shouldn't be killed. He shouldn't. That's what I'm saying now, because he shouldn't be killed. But basically what we're seeing here is I think the rune game is going to be important to be able to beat this tower regularly. Now, I'll get some gems for doing as well as I did, but I was hoping that this wasn't the case here. Torchy did a real number on him. I was expecting Rogar to soak that so I could at least get a quick attack off. But that Julius looked pretty tough as well. And 3-star Torchy, he's obviously going to have Lockjaw up next, so there's not a ton I can do here other than to try and brute force these last couple. So I will send in Sume. He's got a skill. Koros. Grognog doesn't have enough health, so I'll leave him off right now. We'll send Zerk. He's got a skill up. And then we will go with these guys again. This may be pretty much the end. Even if I get through this one, there's a string of level 40s that I'm dealing with. I just don't think there's enough to get through. But it was a pretty valiant effort. We ran into a couple of really unfortunate things early. Seems like kind of a shame to use Soul Shred this early with no buffs, but Selwyn's gonna freeze the team. Sume may not even get another turn. Wasn't expecting a one-shot there, but and actually didn't even remove that Monkey C. That's slap in the face. Yep, there goes Sume, there goes Zerk. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, and they're frozen. Yep, dead. No chance. This is the end to our valiant run. We got heroes left, but I don't even think we're going to clear this dungeon with level 40s. And then 43 we'd never beat. No chance. Alright, let's run this to completion here. Send the last bit of guys in. We'll send 3 of them. That way we can send in... If I beat it, I can send it. No, the other one's a 43, so it doesn't matter. There's no point in trying to do that. I was going to say if I could save a couple of guys for the next one, it's just going to be death one after another. So I'll send whatever I got here. Try and kill these guys. If I can get level 8, I mean level 8 out of the 12 isn't bad. I'll take it. Alright, I'll try to... I probably should have shot Selwyn. That may have actually killed him. It was foolish on my part. Foolish on my part. I guess I got into that defeat mindset already where it doesn't really matter what I do. I'll taunt just to save those other guys for another turn. I knew that team leech was coming though. I knew that was coming. And unfortunately Femus isn't going to last either. Just long enough to do this. I'm really looking forward to using Femus now that I did the tank analysis. I feel like he might be a good hero for me. Unfortunately, he's such low stars. The leveling went so fast. I really wasn't able to farm his tokens at all. Alright, so we got level 8. We should get some rewards. It's not the best, but it's something. We'll send some guys to the slaughter, and then we'll send these guys back in as cleanup. I don't think it's going to be very good. Unless, unless Rocky dodges. It's highly unlikely, to be honest. We'll send Rocky first. And then we'll send probably Bulbous. If he dodges here, I'll absolutely love that. Because then that'll use both him and... oh, he didn't even die. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm still not expecting to beat this one because with the taunters, there's just no way I can do the damage. So we're going to send in 2 people first. We're going to send in Bunny Rama here. And then we're going to send in Grognog. We'll do it in waves here. Hoppy is unascended and she has no runes, but she can at least disease them. Except for him. The level is just too high anyways. It's just not enough. That worked out pretty well. We'll get a few pot shots. Actually doing better than I expected. Way better. So I lose Nimriel early on to some BS attacks, and then we get guys that's over leveled me, and these guys just hang in there. That seems backwards, if you ask me. It seems really backwards. Alright, this is what we call the last stand. None of them have skills up, so we'll see how the basic attack train goes. There's no way they're getting through Stone Fist. It's just not going to happen. He's going to taunt, and then those other guys will pick me apart. But it'll be fun watching. Yeah. There's nowhere to go here. I did that. That's surprising, but now comes the long part. At least I'm not going to get poisoned. But I mean, where am I going to go with this? I don't think I can last 3 turns to purge taunts or get my stampede up. I mean, gosh. If I still had a healer left, that would be nice. Koros is going to die next turn. Maybe he gets a cheap shot in here. Oh, that's good. So he did something good before he left. Ah, I wish that evasion would have stuck. Oh, son of a bitch. I wish I wanted to use this on Igorok. We'll just do it. Yep, she's going to be dead too. They're all going to be dead. That poison. Blue or purple. Not really anything I can do here. Try and kill Igorok. Try. Alright. I hate this because it looked like I was getting close to being able to beat this, but just a tad bit too short. That magical, that's gonna... Yep, he's dead. It was a valiant effort, but ultimately just no good. So, kind of sad that I really didn't get any further than I did the very first time I did it. And that's partially because when you're at level 20 or whatever, the quality of heroes in the tower just isn't the same. At level 40 or so, you get a lot of people that have a pretty good roster and they start throwing runes on. So there wasn't much I could do. I got 50 gems out of it, but not really anything else needed to get a little bit further. But with that said, I guess there's nothing else I can do. We're going to claim our reward. We'll wrap up this video, and then Basically, I don't know how many more tower videos I'm gonna do, just because it's so unpredictable and it's a long video as well. So I'll keep an eye on it. Once I do my next heroic summon and I get a few more heroes, if I get all of my roster leveled up, then maybe I'll do the next one then. But we'll sit out the recorded version of the tower probably until level 50 or so, just so we can get a little bit further along. So we'll kind of play that one by ear. So any questions, comments, concerns, or things that you think I should have did differently, or teams that you would have sent in against certain other teams, I would love to know some feedback there. I thought I played it pretty smart. Didn't get too many bad breaks, but the bad breaks that I did get, they were pretty bad. So let me know what you think. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.